What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. Today on the table I have a special video for you. It's my top 10 games of all time as of April 2020. Thank you to our Patreon backers for supporting us and helping us reach that goal to unlock this as an ongoing feature on the channel. So stay tuned. Every year I will be doing a top 10 list and updating this list, so watch out for that. If you'd like to support the channel, links are down in the description below. Also subscribe, hit that notification bell so you do not miss videos like this on the channel. All right, let's get to it. Number 10 is Dark Souls, the board game by Steam Forged Games. This is a miniature-filled dungeon crawling game that I've had a blast playing over the years with friends and even recently solo. You'll see lots of playthroughs of this on the channel, but it's one of my faves. Maybe not the best design game, but thanks to community rules that have updated the game and rebalanced it and made it more interesting in my opinion. I've been having a blast with this, and also all the expansions that finally hit my door after many, many years of waiting from the Kickstarter. But this is number 10, Dark Souls, the board game. Number 9 is Champions of Midgard by Grey Fox Games. This is my highest rated worker placement game, which was made much better when they released the 2 expansions for the game. It just excelled it for me. I played a lot of worker placement games since, but this I guess is still my top, which beat it out in the rankings for now. We'll see over time if that stays up there, but this is Champions of Midgard, my number 9. Number 8 is Sword and Sworcery Immortal Souls by Aeons Games, another miniature-filled, fantasy-themed, dungeon-crawling, dice-rolling game on the list. One of my favorite genres of games. This one actually surprised me more than I expected based on some reviews and the lack of hype out there for this game. But I did fall in love with it. Been playing it 2-player, the campaign on the channel. Look for the playthroughs to continue on the channel with the campaign expansions. Coming soon, but that's Sword and Sworcery, my number 8. Number 7 is Aeons End by Indie Boards and Cards. This is my top deck building game. This is based on me playing so far Aeons End 2nd Edition, Aeons End War Eternal, and Aeons End Legacy up until this point. Hopefully playing Aeons End New Age soon. But just based on what I've played so far, this is now my top deck building game out of all the deck building games in my collection. I think it has to do with the unique not shuffling your deck, plus mattering how things go in your discard pile, the whole spell system, the co-op nature of it. I love this game. It's awesome. This is Aeons End number 7. Number 6 is Cloudspire by Chip Theory Games. This is a beast of a game, not only in complexity, but also in weight and quality and content. This is a MOBA / tower defense inspired game using neoprene mats, poker chips for units and defense towers. Has tons of PvP content, solo content, co-op content. Like I said, it's a beast of a game. I'm having a blast with this one. Just pure quality. This is Cloudspire, my number 6. Number 5 is Spirit Island by Greater Than Games, the cooperative settler destruction strategy game, which I saw a couple years ago and passed on it just based on the theme and the look of it, like the graphic design. I didn't think it was as heavy of a game as it is, and it wasn't a strategy game on the level I was looking for. But recently I've gotten more into solo gaming, and I saw this hit a ton of lists last year of top games of all time. So I thought I had to take another look, and looking into it, it looked like just the type of game I love to play. So I grabbed it, added it to my collection, and this one is a beautiful, puzzly, brain-burning game that I've had a blast playing, and I'm looking forward to playing more of it. I'm looking forward to more expansions. This is just an awesome game all around. Don't judge a game by its cover is what this game has taught me. This is Spirit Island, my number 5. My number 4 is Gloom Haven by Cephalofair Games. It's a small, little, tiny game, kind of underground, nobody really knows about, that I played with a couple years ago and fell in love with. Just played it like once or twice. I'm totally kidding. This is the number 1 board game of all time on the BoardGameGeek.com website. This is a monster of a game with many hundreds of hours of content in it. Huge story, tons of characters. We spent many, many hours playing through it on the channel and off the channel. Had a blast playing through the main campaign with my wife, with our buddy Justin, jumping in as a 3rd player, in and out over that campaign. We're looking forward to getting it back on the channel soon to continue it on and get into the Forgotten Circles expansion. Also looking forward to the Jaws of the Lion and the Frost Haven expansions coming out in the future for this. This is Gloom Haven, a monster of a fantasy, tactical, dungeon crawly kind of game with a story over top. But yeah, this is Gloom Haven, my number 4. My number 3 is Too Many Bones by Chip Theory Games, another giant, heavy game full of poker chips and neoprene mats, and a ton of dice. This is known as a dice builder RPG. You're taking some characters in either solo or co-op, taking down a tyrant, going on an adventure, and just having a blast of a time, picking the stats and the dice for your gear lock to try to solve the puzzle of each encounter and the tyrant. It's a blast of a game. I wish I found out about it sooner, but this has become obviously one of my favorite games. This is Too Many Bones by Chip Theory Games, number 3. My number 2 game of all time is Scythe by Stonemaier Games. This is a game I got and wasn't sure I'd even like. Based on like the mechanisms in it, I wasn't really sure about engine builders at the time, other than I knew deck building games were kind of like building an engine, so I thought, okay, maybe I'd like it. But man, the tension in this game, the building your engine, the possibility of combat, maybe no combat at all, screwing over your opponents by stealing their resources, stealing their areas, invading their homelands, that kind of thing. This is Scythe. I will play this game anytime. I still bring it to the table, still have just as much fun with it, and with the Rise of Fenris expansion, oh man, just, yeah, brought it to the next level. Scythe, my number 2 game of all time. And my number 1 game of all time is the Game of Thrones, the board game, 2nd edition by Fantasy Flight Games. This is the game that got me into the tabletop gaming hobby. I had just finished watching season 1 of the HBO show, learned it was based off some books. While looking for those books, I saw an ad for this board game, learned at the time it was out of print, started to track it down at nearby stores, couldn't be found. I had to drive an hour away to find a final copy sitting on a store shelf in a non-board gaming store. Weird, but got the copy, learned the game, taught it to players, had so much fun. This game is long. I find it's better at higher player counts, but man, the stories you generate after playing this, I love the tension. It has area control, backstabbing, combat, lying about your orders. Amazing. Friendships are broken at the end of a game. Players are all standing up around the table, getting seriously invested into the decisions they've been making over those hours of play. But I love the experience I have every time I play this game. I just wish it got to the table more, but that's the problem with games that take so long and require 4 to 6 players to really get going at a good player count. But that is Game of Thrones, the board game, 2nd edition, my favorite board game of all time. And that was my top 10 games of all time. Thanks again to the Patreon backers who support this channel to help reach that goal to unlock this as an ongoing feature on the channel. And make sure you subscribe and stay tuned, because I will be doing this list now each year, updating it going forward, and you'll see which games get added to the list as I play them, which games fall off over time. If you have any comments or questions about games that you saw on the list or games that weren't on the list, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll try to answer that as soon as I can. And make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you do not miss upcoming videos on the channel. If you're interested in seeing any of the playthroughs we've done of some of these games on the channel, I will link those down in the description below. And if you'd like to support the channel, become a Patreon backer and help us vote on future games we play, games we purchase, and help get videos like this on the channel and see them ad-free and early. Go check out the Patreon, links down in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.